Yu Nagami is an average high school boy submitting stories to competitions with the dream of becoming an author but always fail. However, one day his life changes when his little sister writes a novel making him work harder and improve his skills in order to write appealing female characters. After waking up from a really weird dream of lots of girls calling him Big Brother, Yu Nagami enters the kitchen while his younger sister Suzuka Nagami is preparing the breakfast. Suzuka scolds Yu for various things like why he did not say grace before eating, why he works overtime on his novel, and why he has not washed his face yet. Although his younger sister Suzuka excels at everything, Yu initially rejects the idea of using her as inspiration. While leaving his home for school, Suzuka calls her big brother, but at the same time, Yu receives a notification on his phone and ignores her. Later on his way to school, Yu comes across a group of boys standing outside trying to talk to a red-haired school beauty from a rich family named Himuro Mai who basically ignores everyone. While in class, Yu opens up the notification he got before, which happens to be from the screening contest for young writers, but unfortunately, he fails the competition because of too many cliches and not appealing female. They also advise him to use the character of a little sister as they are more popular with the people these days. Yu then transitions to his part-time work, where he talks to his work buddy Asaka. Asaka tells Yu to take inspiration from his drop-dead gorgeous little sister, but Yu rejects the idea as it is creepy for an older brother to write about little sister. Asaka tells him to imagine Suzuka in a really creepy way, which he did, and turns out it's quite disturbing. Nonetheless, Yu purchases the latest novels by his favorite author, Ryu Hamura. He really loves the author's book's main character and even tries to act like him, which turns out to be embarrassing while in public. Later, Yu arrives home and gets scolded by Suzuka for being late and wasting his money on books. While in his room, Yu checks about the competition again, and is shocked to discover that the winner is Chike Toano, who wrote a novel with a really weird but straight-to-the-point name, The Tale of a Little Sister Who Loves Her Brother Too Much to Cope. Surprisingly, Suzuka blurts out of nowhere and asks Yu if she can come into his room. At first, Yu hesitated but let her come in anyway. Suzuka compliments Yu for having a clean room today, which Yu finds uncomfortable because this means that she visits his room daily. While Yu processes all this, Suzuka drops another bomb that Chike Tohono is her pen name but clarifies that the story does not reflect her true feelings. This revelation depresses Yu, as Suzuka effortlessly wins her first competition. Since Suzuka's novel is going to be professionally published, she pleads with Yu to pretend to be Chike Tohono. She explains that her school prohibits students from having jobs, and their strict father adds to the constraints. Reluctantly, Yu agrees but sets a condition. He will only do so until he succeeds in publishing his own novel. During the awards ceremony, Yu encounters Ryuka Shinozaki, his assigned editor, who is unconventional in a really different ways. For example, she make him touch her big talents. He also meets a Hagao WP sensei, his assigned illustrator, who possesses huge talents. After getting home from the event, Yu talks to his sister about the weird event, but things are about to get weirder when, in a private moment, Suzuka confesses that she is deeply in love with Yu and views publishing her novel as the first step toward marrying him. On an average school day, Yu decides to take a nap, as he is again writing a novel for a new author contest. But things don't go as planned, as the unapproachable beauty of the school, Mai Himuro, confronts Yu and asks him to meet in person in not a very kind way, but making every guy in the class jealous. Mai and Yu meet on the school roof, where she discloses that she recognizes him as Chike Tohono from the awards ceremony, which surprises Yu, who suspects that she might be a voice actor or guest in that event. Mai drops the bomb, telling him that she is secretly his favorite author, Ryu Hamura. As expected, Yu asks for an autograph, but Mai gets mad and confesses her love for Yu's novel, and now both want each other's autograph. Eager to understand his writing process, Mai demands access to his personal life in order to study him. Yu hesitates at first, but because of her continuous persuasion, he agrees. But here comes the twist. She wants to visit his home. While on their way to home after school, Mai takes photographs of everything, including his home, which is definitely creepy. Yu asks her to leave, but Mai, as the girl she is, does not listen to what he says, and because of this commotion, Suzuka comes out to see. Nonetheless, Mai snoops into Yu's room and starts getting in through his belongings. Meanwhile, Suzuka listens to everything from outside. Later, in an attempt to scare Mai away, Suzuka falsely claims that Yu is a creep. However, Mai counters by lying on his bed with open arms, stating that she would willingly be a victim if it improves her writing, which, as expected, shocks both siblings. Eventually, Yu manages to persuade Mai to leave. Mai concludes that she will visit the next day no matter what. Yu and Mai take their leave as he decides to walk her home safely. Later, when Yu returns, Suzuka is already waiting for an explanation in a really terrifying mood. Yu reveals everything to her over the dinner table, but Suzuka has a different plan, as she is determined to have Yu all to herself. She invites him to hang out with her, under the pretense of needing inspiration for the second part of her novel. Basically, she is asking her brother out on a date. The following day, while getting ready for the date, Yu accidentally sees Suzuka in her undies. As Master Oogway said, there are no accidents. During their outing, they visit a bookstore where Suzuka witnesses the immense popularity of her own novel. Later, while strolling around, they come across to a store which they first mistaken for a manga store, but when Yu realizes it is already too late because Suzuka enters into it. Watching all the H books in there makes Suzuka extremely blush. But surprisingly, both of the siblings encounter a Hagao in the store. She is thrilled by Yu's remark that they are researching material for their next novel. Ahegao, without any hesitation, shares some of her doujinshi artwork. Suzuka gets overwhelmed by the content and faints while imagining engaging in such activities with Yu. While on their way home, Yu notices a lot of missed calls from Mai. As they both reach home, Suzuka becomes determined to outshine Mai and Ahegao and is convinced that they are attempting to seduce her brother with their larger talents. The following day, Suzuka visits Yu's room in order to know what the Japanese word pankaira means. Suzuka reveals that Ryuka requests that the next novel includes a second female heroine and more fan service, specifically focusing on pankaira. Yu is horrified to realize that he has to explain to her little sister what a pankaira is. Suzuka forces Yu to tell her the meaning, and at last, he spills the beans that pankaira means a glimpse of women's undies. Seriously, what is wrong with these people? Suzuka extremely blushes and wonders why the editors want these kinds of fan service, to which Yu informs her that the majority of the readers are males and these kinds of things make them happy. Suzuka uses 100% of her IQ and thinks that maybe showing her undies to her brother will also make him happy. Later, Suzuka also confesses that she lacks inspiration for the second female character. So, Yu tries to come up with an appealing female side character, as we already know it is not his strong suit. Yu comes up with an idea and seeks help from Mai and Ahegao. After introducing Mai and Ahegao to each other, Yu takes them to their room. When Mai asks about the problem, Yu tries to explain but fails. Thanks to his sister, who explains everything without anyone any doubt who the real author is, Mai gets happy as her favorite writer wants her help but still expresses disappointment that a successful writer like Yu needs assistance. Ahegao informs that the second heroine should be a cute romantic rival. Mai also agrees with her idea. In return for their support, Mai insists on receiving a detailed list of all Yu's interests, while Ahegao provides costumes to determine his preferences. After watching the girls trying to seduce her brother, Suzuka decides to participate as well. Based on Yu's creepy reaction, his sister is declared the winner with her PE outfit and knee socks. The result gives Mai and Ahegao important notes on Yu's preferences. Later, both of the girls leave, and Yu remembers that he has to work on his manuscript. As he is about to go to his room, Yu notices his sister being angry about something and then leaves. Several days later, while Yu is working on his manuscript, Ryuka calls him, to which he does not give much attention. He then finds her in a furious state because he has missed his deadline. Yu runs towards Suzuka's room where he finds her sleeping due to overwork. Yu notices the manuscript for Volume 2 near her, and is shocked to read the blunt script, unable to believe that Suzuka wrote it. On the other hand, Suzuka wakes up and admits that she does not desire a second heroine, and is upset that Yu did not appear to enjoy her first novel. Yu realizes that his jealousy over Suzuka's success has deeply hurt her feelings. Upon rereading her novel, he understands why it is so captivating and decides to ask Suzuka to abandon the idea of a second heroine, as the sister alone is the only necessary love interest. Overjoyed by his declaration of love for the sister character, Suzuka asks Yu to sit beside her, and she writes the entire second novel in a single night. Noticing that Yu has fallen asleep, she takes the opportunity and secretly kisses him. Suzuka crashes to Hono Chikai, Yu's signing day at a library incognito, which wasn't cognito at all. After signing autographs, Yu is able to leave his chair but bumps into a beautiful girl who introduces her as Sakura Minazuki. This reminds Yu that the girl is a renowned voice actress. What's more shocking is that the girl claims to be a super mega fan of his work, especially the younger sister character Yuki in the book. Sakura also expresses her dream of voicing the role of his little sister in the event of his novel, and also wants to become the voice actor of the lead character if it gets adapted into an anime. Adding to the tension, she begins referring to Yu as Big Brother, which angers Suzuka as she perceives it as another big talents girl entering the picture. Later, Mai bumps into Yu, who asks about Ahegao's whereabouts, to which Mai replies that due to some important work, Ahegao had to take her leave. Suddenly, the hot editor Ryuka, who seems busy, also joins the group. Surprisingly, both Ryuka and Mai knew each other before. While on the call, Ryuka subtly hints that she is working towards arranging an anime series based on the novel. The following day before class starts, Mai appears in front of Yu and takes him with her for a talk. After dragging him with her, Mai tells him that she is unable to make any progress by simply following him and demands Yu's secret to captivating writing. However, he evades the question and avoids giving her a direct answer, swiftly runs off to class as he hears the class ring. Later in class, Yu notices that Mai is absent but then realizes despite his efforts, Mai manages to steal the novel Yu is currently working on. Disappointed by its subpar writing and uninteresting characters, she remembers that she has seen the same manuscripts in his trash and begins to doubt whether he is truly Chikai Tohono. Later, Yu rushes towards her sister, worried about her true identity as Chikai being exposed. Suzuka decides to take matters into her own hands and devises a plan for Yu to flirt with her in Mai's presence, convincing her that Yu is Chikai Tohono due to his genuine sister fetish. Aware that Mai is following and noticing their every movement, Yu and Suzuka go on a date. While shopping, Suzuka reluctantly asks Yu to help her in choosing new undies. Amid other activities, a Hagao unexpectedly appears and guesses if the siblings are on a date, to which Suzuka agrees. She then insists that Yu should help her so she can find herself a good swimsuit for a shoot. A Hagao asks everyone, including Mai, Suzuka, and Sakura, to join her for a shopping trip to select new swimsuits. All the girls see the chances and decide to find the most revealing swimsuit for Yu, giving him the main character treatment. Overwhelmed by the situation, Yu reluctantly declares Suzuka's undies as the best choice. On their way back home, Mai suggests a brief vacation at her villa as the next step. While on their way to Mai's villa, the group including Sakura is excited as they cannot wait for the fun to start. Meanwhile, Mai is intensely staring at Yu in a really creepy way. Upon asking, she reveals that this time she will find his secret, which gives an idea that Mai is hiding something. During their stay at the villa, Yu becomes suspicious and questions Mai about her meeting with her editor, but she avoids discussing the matter. Later, when Yu takes a break to rest on the beach, a Hagao appears with her big talents and suggests that Yu to apply sunscreen on her. Eventually, every girl in the group decided to play a game to see who he finds the most attractive. Each girl takes her turn, but when it's her sister's turn, he gets excited and accidentally spills the bottle on Suzuka, who leaves to take a shower. Yu also decides to use Mai's second shower, but mistakenly enters the wrong room and catches a glimpse of Commando Suzuka. Later at night, the group visits a nearby festival. Yu assumes that Suzuka is still mad about what happened earlier, but when asked, Suzuka does not care about it, but the real reason for being furious is that her brother did not notice her in yukata. Afterwards, Mai appears and calls Yu as she knows a secret place through the woods to watch fireworks. While on their way, Mai takes advantage of a moment alone with Yu and pulls a reverse Uno on him by blocking his way and insists on revealing his secret to great writing, even going as far as offering favors. Yu, being the dump guy, continues to resist, so she demands to personally observe him while he writes. Fortunately, Suzuka had anticipated this situation and had Yu memorize her next chapter. But Mai can't be fooled that easily, as she notes that while writing the manuscript, Yu's reaction was the same all the time. Suzuka saves the day by saying that Yu always has a reactionless face while writing. After showering, Hagao and Sakura want to sleep, which rings the bell that the villa has only 4 beds, so Suzuka insists on sharing one with Yu. Unable to sleep because of Suzuka's dreams, Yu goes to the front room and encounters Mai, who confesses that she has a new overly critical editor. As a result of the changes he made, her latest novels have become less popular, putting her current novel at risk of being cancelled. So Mai begs him to tell her the secret or she will refuse to believe that he is Tohono Chikai. Despite Mai's emotional plea, Yu still refuses to reveal his secret and rushes off, leaving her in tears. As he gets into his room frustrated, Yu encounters Suzuka and demands to know how Suzuka approaches her way of writing. She admits that she enters a state of mind where she becomes the main character herself. Encouraged by this revelation, Yu decides to try the same technique, focusing on the brother character from Suzuka's story. In a heartfelt moment, he confesses all of his feelings and even tells her how he loves her more than anything in the world, causing her to faint. Yu enters Mai's room like the main character, putting his arms around her and shares the writing secret with Mai, who becomes inspired and begins writing with newfound enthusiasm. Motivated by the experience, Yu starts working on his own novel using Suzuka's unique method. Witnessing this, Suzuka sits close to her brother in order to write her next manuscript. Some days later, Yu notices Suzuka being extremely happy, so he asks her, to which she reveals that it is because of Yu's love confession. But when he clarifies that he was merely pretending to be the character Tohono Chikai, Suzuka becomes enraged and tells him to be in character 24/7. At an anime convention, Yu and Suzuka are spotted selling a Hagao double-piece Sensei Doujinshi. Suzuka and the other girls feel a bit timid in their revealing cosplays promoting Hagao's work. Somehow the group unexpectedly cross paths with Haruna and Akino, a dynamic sister duo involved in crafting a famous novel known as Ambivalence. Both of the sisters make fun of a Hagao's work, Haruna then starts making fun of Chikai Tohono's novel, which makes Suzuka so furious that it sparks her competitive spirit. Haruna proposes a competition in which both groups will create doujinshi inspired by Chikai Tohono's work, and the one who will get the most reviews from the fans will be considered the winner. Haruna concludes that if Tohono Chikai's work wins, she will bow and will apologize, but fueled by determination, Suzuka insists that if they win, Haruna and Akino must recognize Chikai as a talented author. Conversely, if they lose, Chikai will cancel its series and retire from the writing world. The convention buzzes with anticipation as these creative clashes unfold. The following day, both Yu and Suzuka walk towards Ahegao's house, and it seems that she lives in a massive building. Ahegao welcomes them to her room. Yu asks Ahegao about her relationship with the girls, to which she replies that 2 years ago both of the sisters were her fans and used to love her work. However, after releasing their own doujinshi, Ambivalence, they grew apart and started hating her. Despite this, she still considers them friends but cannot allow them to disrespect Tohono Chikai's work. Ahegao agrees to assist them with the illustrations, but under the condition that they pose for her in new artwork, as she can't come up with any other ideas. Some weird things happen during this process. The next day, Suzuka excitedly proposes adding a festival scene filled with playful interactions between the siblings to their doujinshi project. To gather inspiration, she convinces Yu to join her at her school's festival, inadvertently sparking rumors that they might be a couple. Turns out, Suzuka holds the prestigious role of student council president. And when a couple of actors fall ill, she and Yu get roped into playing the lead roles of a prince and princess for a school drama. As the prince, Yu surprises everyone with his adept improvisation, skillfully turning down the princess's advances, claiming confusion and the need for time to sort out his feelings. Post-performance, Suzuka privately contemplates whether Yu's on-stage remarks hint at his true sentiments towards her. On the verge of confessing her own feelings, Suzuka is abruptly interrupted by the sudden appearance of Akino, the younger sister of Haruna. This diverts her attention away from the proposal, leaving the moment hanging in the air as Suzuka grapples with her unspoken emotions towards Yu. Akino reveals that she is here to apologize for what her sister did earlier. Suzuka questions why she's at their school, to which Akino replies that she was invited by a friend. Nonetheless, her sister Haruna also appears and calls Yu a creep for being in a girls' high school. However, Yu questions why Haruna and Akino are opposed to Ahegao's work. They respond by stating that Ahegao is wasting her potential. When Yu asks for the reason, Haruna grabs him by the collar, emphasizing women's empowerment. Fortunately, Suzuka intervenes. As the girls leave, Akino tells Suzuka that Yu is somehow touching her little sister's talents, a rather ridiculous claim. Later, while having dinner, Yu reminds her that tomorrow is the last day to turn in the manuscript, but Suzuka reveals that she is going to write all night. The following day, Yu wakes up late and is shocked to see that his sister did not wake him up this time. So he goes into her room and sadly finds out that she has a burning fever. Yu takes care of her, including assisting with tasks like washing her body and selecting clean undies. Another bombs drop when Suzuka asks Yu to complete the doujinshi using their shared experiences. Meanwhile, Ahegao pays a visit to Yu and is surprised to learn that he hasn't prepared the manuscript yet. When Ahegao shares her sketches for the doujinshi, they turn out to be exceptionally good that even overflow is nothing in front of it. Yu suggests that she create something less H while he attempts to mimic Suzuka's writing style. However, in his attempt, Yu finds his own work to be dull and unappealing. Moreover, Ahegao's artwork suffers as she is prohibited from drawing her usual illustrations. Yu visits her sister Suzuka in order to get some idea. "My boy, that's not something you ask your sister." Moreover, Suzuka tells her to write while having her in his mind. So, Yu decides to write the story, as if Suzuka is the intended reader, allowing Ahegao to illustrate whatever she wants to create no matter how weird it is. The following day during the competition, Haruna and Yu exchange their doujinshi as it is a custom. After reading, Ahegao is surprised to discover that Haruna and Akino have also created a doujinshi. While Haruna and Akino's Ambivalence doujinshi receives significant attention due to their existing fame, Yu's sales also start rising as soon as after Sakura appears and promotes their work to her fans on Twitter. On the other hand, Akino asks Haruna to read Yu's work. At first, she hesitates, but when she does, she gets happy. Maybe she is also a creep. In a surprising turn of events, Akino suggests that Haruna should overlook Ahegao's illustrations and focus on reading Yu's doujinshi. Haruna admits that they struggled to create a compelling story and relied on illustrations for appeal. Haruna acknowledges Ahegao as a superior illustrator and Yu as a superior writer, apologizing but expressing determination to surpass both in the future. On their way home, Suzuka takes the chance to read Yu's story, but upon discovering her brother's lewd taste, she labels him an ugly creep. Some days later, Ryuka informs Yu that Suzuka's novel has received approval for an anime adaptation, leading Yu to meet anime director Sakurada. While on the call, Yu asks about the scrubbing noise, to which she reveals that she is bathing at the moment. After talking to Rieka, Yu gets another call from Sakura, who tells her that she is outside of his house. Yu is shocked to see Sakura with a bag and takes her to his room, where she reveals that she ran away from her home and seeks shelter with Yu, but Yu feels hesitant as he says that they both are opposite genders and might do something inappropriate. But that does not scare Sakura a bit, as she believes him. Yu is not out of danger, as his younger sister Suzuka knocks on the door because of all the commotion, but somehow Yu fools her by saying he is just talking to himself in a girl's voice. Suddenly, Mai calls Yu as she wants to talk to him for a bit, but she also nearly discovers Sakura's presence in his room and becomes furious, but Yu hangs up the call. Not a moment passes, and Ahegao also calls to tease him by sending him an illustration so he can play with his rod, but Yu hangs up the call when she hears Sakura's voice. Nonetheless, Sakura starts changing into her night suit in front of Yu, but he stops her and goes outside. It looks like even God is not on the side of my boy, as Akino and Haruna also call to seek his advice regarding their new novel, only to realize that he is with a woman. On the following day, Yu and Suzuka find themselves in the company of Rieka, Suzuka's boss, and Sakurada, a highly regarded anime director. Initially, the director showers praise on Yu's light novel, expressing deep fandom, until the atmosphere takes a sharp turn when Suzuka nudges Yu to properly introduce her. The room's mood tightens as it's revealed that Yu, the author of a love novel featuring a little sister, actually has a real little sister. The director, sensing a narrative twist, delves into a series of probing questions about their real-life dynamic. Not happy with how Yu answered, he thinks Yu doesn't really get what makes little sister Mo special. Angry at the idea of her characters being altered, Suzuka insists that Yu undergo training to develop a more authentic fondness for little sisters, preserving the integrity of their story. Upon their return home, a surprising sight awaits them. Sakura dressed only in an apron and undies. It reminds me of Overflow, if you know what I mean. Suzuka, brimming with fury, learns that last night Sakura ran away from her own home following a heated dispute with her biological older brother. In the midst of this revelation, Sakura, being Yu's so-called little sister, volunteers her assistance upon hearing about Yu's aim to cultivate affection for little sisters. In anger, Suzuka challenged Minazuki to a spirited competition. The aim of the competition is to determine whether a fake little sister can surpass the prowess of a genuine one in the specialized training of Yu's Mo development. The following day, while having breakfast, Suzuka and Yu discuss little sister Mo, as they are afraid if they do not, the director will make changes to the anime. Meanwhile, Sakura enters the kitchen and Yu asks him to come with her on her radio show. The scene shifts to a radio station, where Sakura welcomes Yu as Tohono Chikai and his younger sister Suzuka. It seems both of them agree to appear on Minazuki's radio show at her request, hoping that it will demonstrate his understanding of Mo and impress Sakurada. During the interview, Yu flirts with Suzuka, which as expected she enjoys. The flirting gets a bit out of hand in a cringe way that Sakura had to remind them that they are intending a live broadcast. However, things go well and Yu gets to showcase his love for Sister Mo. Upon returning home, they are greeted by Ahegao and Mai. After seeing Sakura with them, Ahegao teases Yu for having a harem. When Mai asks them why Sakura is with them, Sakura, being the troublemaker, tells her that she is living with Yu. After listening to this, Mai gets furious, but Suzuka calms her down while Yu explains everything to her in the house. After knowing that Sakura runs off from her house because of a dispute with her brother, Mai and Ahegao also express their desire to become Yu's little sisters after learning about his quest for Mo, but Sakura suggests a group date as a way to bond. Surprisingly, Akino and Haruna also join them for the group date. According to Akino, she can't miss the chance to date her master as her self-proclaimed favorite student, which definitely angers Mai as she thinks of herself as Yu's favorite student. On the other hand, Haruna is there to keep an eye on Yu. Afterwards, through a lottery, each person is assigned a specific sister archetype. Mai gets to act like a cuter sister. On the other hand, Ahegao will act like a lowly sister, Haruna a tsundere, Akino a cat-themed yandere, and finally Suzuka has to act like an excessively affectionate deridere sister. On a Ferris wheel, Suzuka is being a bit too touchy for a sister. Upon Sakura's turn, Yu notices that she is facing trouble from a creepy fan. Yu decides to take matters into his own hands by intervening and asks the fan to leave. Curious, Sakura asks about why Yu seeks Sister Mo despite his successful novel. Yu explains his meeting with Sakurada, which leads to Sakura revealing her struggles with voicing sister characters due to her real brother's oppressive sister complex. However, after reading Yu's novel, she comes to appreciate Sister Mo. Suddenly, Sakura confesses her love for Yu, which Suzuka overhears, prompting her to run away. Yu tries to follow Suzuka, but Sakura asks for an answer, but Yu apologizes, to which she claims it was all an act and admits her defeat in the little sister rivalry between her and Suzuka. However, Sakura visibly appears saddened after Yu rejects her. In the past, the Yu finds Suzuka crying near a fountain but gets cheered up when she sees her big brother. Back to the present, Suzuka is deeply upset and sits near the same fountain as shown in the past while ignoring calls from Yu and is sad about the fact that she was not true to her feelings with her brother. Yu comes to a realization that he has always possessed little sister Mo, but is afraid to admit it as he used to think he will lose her. Yu finally remembers the fountain and rushes towards it, as soon as he finds Suzuka crying in the same place from years ago. Yu tries to explain what truly happened, but Suzuka does not believe. So, Yu starts confessing that the very first light novel he ever read was a story about a little sister's love that inspired him to write a novel. However, he is afraid that Suzuka would perceive him as creepy if he revealed this to her. Suzuka is overjoyed to finally understand Yu's genuine feelings but still acts hard to get. Yu does not care about it much, but Suzuka asks about the winner of the little sister competition, to which he replies with her name and then asks her to go back as everyone would be waiting for them. Later at night, Yu wakes up from his bed to check on Sakura. Shockingly, he finds her sitting in the living room. Yu makes hot chocolate for her while she reveals that getting defeated by Suzuka only increased her determination. Sakura asks Yu about the director, but after learning the director's name she is taken aback upon learning that Sakurada Itsuki will be the one directing their anime. Nonetheless, Sakura gets up to sleep, but in the morning Yu finds a letter from Sakura on the table thanking them for letting her stay at their house and apologizing that she has to do some work and that's why she was not able to say proper goodbye. Later, at the meeting with Sakura, producer and Ryuka, Yu boldly proclaims that Sakurada is the one who lacks Mo because he solely focuses on his own feelings towards the sister character, disregarding how the sister might feel. Yu argues that what Sakurada possesses is not Mo, it's merely lust. Enraged by this statement, Sakurada and Yu both encounters each other in JoJo style, in which Sakurada resolves to change the characters out of spite. However, Mai and Ahegao enters the room rejecting their idea, but Sakurada does not care about their preferences until Sakura suddenly appears from behind and reveals Sakurada as her loser brother, revealing his overbearing sister complex. She forces him to admit that he harbored a grudge against Yu for allowing Sakura to temporarily live with him. Sakurada loses and apologizes while promising not to alter the characters. He then praises Yu as the king of little sister Mo. On their way back home, Akino and Haruna also joins Yu and all the girls celebrate his victory. Suzuka accepts that Yu may not have romantic feelings for her, but she is content knowing that he loves little sisters. As the summer break comes to an end, Yu can be seen loading packages with Asaka in his part-time job while Suzuka graduates and enrolls in the same high school as Yu. If you liked what you saw, consider subscribing to the channel and stay tuned for more quality uploads.